This book is dedicated to Brian and the fifth wave. This is the interlude, part 2. Fiction, horror.
Burn this. Manuscript by Julian F. Tuna, Little MNF. 3. Chapter 1. I am in my room. I told myself the same thing. All over the floor, there were little pieces of paper. Clean it up, I said. I should keep my self-control, but I know I didn't leave the light on. Somebody was here, and the room feels empty like a dark cave. But unlike you, I feel right at home, mainly because I am what I am. I'm a door knocker. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm a mind reader. I'm a worse drinker. Message in a bottle filled with letters written by me. Dear diary, I am lost within this dream. My nightmare is a world of its own. Someone told me the world is just a world within a world, and life is just a dream within a dream within a dream. I wrote this. I wonder if I'll ever read it again. If I know myself well, then I believe I will find what is hidden between this book and me, to be interesting if only for me and the constant reader, which is you. This is what I sound like when I don't want to think, when I want to stop. Non-stop, then continue with this. All I see are green lights. I hope one day I will repeat what I have wrote. Pause. Wait. In a sense, I am not lost, but still, I am alone. Smoking strong, like Sylvester Stallone. It is better to be with myself than to be with people that can hold me back. When I conversate with myself, I tell me when I am over mad. I'm over this, but I'm over the anger. I'm not over the anger. Correction. Correct me when I'm wrong, but acknowledge me when I'm correct. I want you to remember to never forget. I told myself this before. Again and again. Over and over and over. I'm repetitive. Come to think of it again, my mind is the remote I keep within my hand. Time seems to be following me everywhere I go. I can't shake it off. I am not without doubt, but will I ever float? My feet on the ground when I feel like a tree. When I look around, when I speak, I plant a seed. Now let it rain, and let the shine be upon thee, via the sun, which energy and rays, ever so, exacerbate within the skin. This could possibly cause cancer, but that's not a problem now. If I repeat then, I have overspoke. I'm contagious, and you might catch it. But I'm back to harvest what I wrote before. To cultivate, to be honest with myself. I don't know where to begin. I saw a smile on you I didn't see on them. Maybe that's why I want to tell you this. I wouldn't want to have a problem from the start. I told myself to write about you became speaking from the heart. My mind is filled up with things I want to say, but I just don't. I wrote this in a room alone. I want to be with the constant reader, here with you, but I find myself in a solitary place. The summer solstice was the highest point. The winter was the lowest. I did not get better in the winter. The waves of the shore just came and receded again. The darkness left, but it will return again, only to consume a place inside of my mind. You're already the voice inside of my head. I mean, you're always here. You never left. How could I even begin to miss you? Wait, am I going deaf? Or am I alone? Because I'm not hearing you now. If I am to be heard, then I must find an ear. Look, it's bleeding right now. I can see the old me from behind a mirror, and the new me doesn't want to believe. Is that my reflection? I told myself. It doesn't even look like me. I only hear myself when I'm in my bed. Strange but true enough. I repeat, I am. 1, Chapter 2. This happened in 1998, when the writer still lived in a basement. And the broken television was there too, of course. The voice inside of his head made jokes about this book, the way people make jokes about the things they are frightened, the things that frighten them. Here's a dose of your own medicine. What, you don't like being afraid? I mean, I remember when I used to have scary dreams. They called it the motto, or the statement. Read between the lines, I said. They made raps about this. Will never be finished. How you will never get this done, right? Well, don't listen to the voice of doubt, I said. And how Richie Holler read, hold it, pause, wait. I thought for a second. Split. Should I write about how Thanksgiving dinner went this fall? Or about how I was too busy writing this book I didn't have time to cook? There is a world behind this world filled with monsters. Back to the story. Richie loved spending time with his wife Melinda. He said, I don't need Google because my wife knows everything. And this was true, but she didn't know this. But for the ones who are actually hearing this, the ones who are actually reading what I wrote down, my reality went down the drain in a hurry. 1 hour is a waste of time. Look, that's how long it took for me to write this. 6 bottles went down the drain. 1 hour is a waste of time. 6 bottles went down the drain. 1 hour is a waste of time. 6 hours went down the drain. I speak in your cold as clay. Are you still with me? Dying is your latest fashion. You look like a corpse to me. When I read what I wrote, the situation was still irrelevant. I read in about 12 composition notebooks in the last 3 years during my time in the valley. In parentheses, that's one figure I've never been confused about. I'll remember my first story, 1992, on my deathbed. And I think that for most of my readers, the truth I left out of my books will forever be fiction, as it happened all the way home. The realization came when, wait, pause, wait, in parentheses. You would see it rising in their eyes, a calico's dismay. Non-stop, then continue to wait. When the old rappers had finished their careers, wait, stop, pause. Mine was just beginning today. When my thoughts were slow and tired of running the race, I just went slow, like I'm behind a beat. My heart is pumping, like a turtle shell, and I'm sticking my neck out. Goosebumps when I heard what I wrote down. Flesh. I felt like a character inside of a book of Stephen King. David was my stepbrother, and I felt like Mr. King. I lost my crown, Or maybe I lost my head. He too was a brother. He too had a brother named David. Only I can relate. More of this later. Note to self. Don't forget. I wasn't good at talking like Aaron was. So I told him my story so it can get passed along. I uploaded to YouTube, but nobody would click on it. It didn't matter anyways. I made the songs that nobody wanted to hear, but I wasn't in a band anymore. But that's not what this book is about. I'm leaving that part out. He had a lot of friends. Oh, did he now? Did you know that God made Moses a god to Pharaoh amongst his people? Let my people go. Pharaoh refused. He said, I am God of the living and of the dead, and I reign supreme in Egypt. And I will not let your people go. They are my slaves, and they will forever be. Moses was, all right, I'll be back with plagues. And he said, Aaron was a prophet, a spokesperson. When the raven came knocking outside Edgar Allan Poe's bedroom, wait, non-stop, pause. He called his home a chamber, period. A room to be inhabited by the evil, who lay just outside, stop, pause, non-continue. Would you run for us, Frank? I heard in my head. I mean, that's another quote for us, Frank. Stop, continue, don't stop. Quote myself when I repeat. Stop, continue, don't stop. I'm repeating the next words for us. Stop, continue, don't stop. When I sleep, hula loom. If this was a book, I'm in love with the chorus. Look what's on the plate. Am I still in the woods or am I out the forest? Stop, continue, don't say it again. Run, Forrest. I am, wait. Tom Hanks was in the Green Mile too. I bet. You didn't even know. 2 is a number. That's a good number. A number of balance. I started counting everything around the room. Like an obsessive compulsive disorder was just taking control of my mind now. I started counting the pens. 28. That's a good number. I started counting the wheels on the roller of the chair. 6. That was a good number. 93. That was a bad number. How do you know? I just know. Why do you count things? Because they keep the balance of the world. Right. Part of my story was to be hidden by me. Wait, stop, continue. Thank God for the wisdom I found within me. Within every line was hidden. I told myself even from me, to you forever. Forever's just a word. I want this shit forever. Forever's just 2 words put together. For and ever. Get that straight. I put words together. From me to you forever. Burn this. If you still have the manuscript in your hands, get rid of it now. I shouldn't have sent it to you. And I got rid of the key, but I fetched it out. I put it in a drawer next to another key. Balance, right? Julian was always so clever. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice was the most interesting dead man alive, period. Black and white mixed ideas came to my mind, period. At my subconscious with Richard Holleran, I found myself to be saying, black and white diamonds, no segregation amongst the walking dead, period. I said with a smile, stop. And that was a little piece of my mind. Wait. Before I wake up, I put up with 30 minutes of never-ending words in a chain of rotation, coming and leaving from here to there, back and forth, back to back before I get out of bed. It's terror. If I kill myself, the agonizing feelings of self-doubt and weakness will end. Am I stronger now? Can I get over this? I mean, I think I'm better now. Maybe this diary should end. But I wouldn't put up with you creeping around in my mind for a single day. I said, get out of my head. The voice inside of my head gives me an earful. On the evening Richard found out Melinda was cheating on him. Hold up, wait, stop. Switch the mind, flip. Richard was known to his pals as the #1 Stephen King fan. Sometimes they even called him Annie Wilkes from Misery. Funny, huh? But in a male version of that character, of course. We even laughed sometimes. It was hilarious, yeah, I know. I failed to recollect my thoughts. My memories are only with me short term. And I have a chronic necessity to write what I want. My long-term goal is to write without a reason of doubt. I found Richard at the top of the stairs, leading to the apartment, laying over the floor, dead on the welcome mat floor. Lifeless after a night of drinking too much. Was it suicide? Once upon a time I told myself, so when you see Wendy standing there with blue eyes and brunette hair, know that she won't be wearing underwear. Turn the page. Close the book. Put it on a shelf. Get another book. Open it. Chapter 5. Read. But in your head, Julian, because she was a rocker back in London. Shh. Peter Pan and Tinkerbell couldn't understand why she was so beautiful. Peter Pan's shadow had left him and flew into the room through the window. Wendy was standing in the middle of the room. Sweetness, right? He walked in there like he was a giant entering a party, only to lift up her dress. Wendy's dress, that is. Yeah, he really did it. Talk about and take a look at the naked truth. That was beautiful. That was scenic, I said. Her skin was white, pale, like milk. I could take a bite out of that apple, like the sign on the back of an iPod or a Mac notebook. Who took a bite of that apple? And she was like, get away from me. I sprinkle everything with sugar. Life is sweet. Wendy felt like Marilyn Monroe for a minute, in that iconic pose where the air blows from underneath, only to expose the beauty of her essence. She had a thick cake for her age. I would eat it without a fork and a plate. Just like that. How'd you like the taste buds in my mouth? Now I can savor this. When a wolf cry wolf, you still see that wolf teeth. And my fangs are sharp. And I'm turning into the werewolf now under the full moon. And I'm really wearing what I'm wearing right now. Am I good or am I bad? I don't know. I'm in civilian clothes. But I'm a villain right now. And it's good, not that bad. And it's bad, not that good. I can't decide. Please, Julian, make up your mind. She had a smile on her face because she was embarrassed. It was then she wished she had worn something underneath, but it was too late for that. It came to pass that it was Halloween, and Nicki Minaj was naked in my room. Oh yeah, really? I don't believe that. Why not? Because that cannot be real. Why not? This is a fairy tale. Yeah, but even in your wildest dreams, that wouldn't be possible. Why not? She wanted me to paint her like the Titanic. I told her to dress up as a Cherokee because that would be better, right? I'm an artist. I got my own touch, and I'm gonna draw right now, but this is just a sketch. If I took a picture with the flash, it would be worth a million words, but I don't want to say a single thing of this because this should be a secret hidden deep within my mind. But too bad I'm putting this on YouTube right now. Yeah. Mistake, Julian. You will regret this. Oh yeah? You want to bet? Shut up, Julian. Did you hear what I didn't think so. She looked like Pocahontas, but her name was Two Smoking Pots because her cleavage was propping out her bra and she was wearing nothing on but a smile on her face. Now, ain't that cute? I tried to pay attention to her beauty, but she paid attention to me. The nature of reality came when I lost it all, and I was in coalescence with what I didn't believe and what I thought was true. She looked like a native Navajo who was kidnapped and tied to a pole in a Curtle Cave, only to be put on a boat, tied to an anchor, and to be thrown overboard, to go down and sink and drown, only to go all the way down, hit the floor of the seabed, and forevermore stay there with the anchor holding her down, drowning with the bubbles going up. You see bubbles going up? Look underwater. You see the bubbles? She's drowning. She's running out of breath right now. The time is clicking now. It's really running out. If nobody is heroic, then no one's going to save her now. And death is just a couple minutes away. I'm willing to wait right now. She was now the victim of this story. She was held hostage by Mr. Smee and Captain Hook, while the posse and the goons stayed on the ship that was on the other side of the mountain, that looked like a hat of a witch, waiting for Peter Pan to come around, messing with Tinkerbell in a glass jar, shaking the jar. Tixie does, coming off of the wings. Oh, look at the little fairy. She's trapped. She wants to get out. Haha, the posse had a laugh. What's a goon to a goblin? I ain't scared of nothing, nothing. Who said that? The stones were talking. Rocks. There's nothing there. I mean, stay away. I didn't leave you a key because you would come to this location. There's nothing there. I've been there. I've seen it with my own eyes. Stay away. Back in the woods, there was a cabin and Wendy was wearing nothing on but a bow on her hair. She was about to take a nice warm shower. Right before she jumped into the water, she removed the only thing she was wearing, which resulted in her hair falling down due to gravity, pulling it down. She looked good with her hair up. With her hair down, she looked like that girl from The Ring. My favorite scary movie when I was about, wait, I forgot, reminiscing back in the day. Okay, now turn the page. Continue reading in your head, Julian. I don't want to hear you right now. In my nightmare, she crawls halfway out the television, only to go back inside before I wake up. And the horror that gave me goose flesh. Speed bumps ahead. Slow the car down, Julian, before we crash. I mean, we don't have seatbelts in this car. My foot sleeping on the gas. Or you better find one. Seconds run the end. Now, fear began entering my soul. Suddenly, my heart was volcanic. I could kill us, you and I both. Maybe the reader would enjoy this more if I was a little more graphic with the way the phone rang. It was haunting. The caller you are trying to reach is not available right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Julian, answer your text. I mean, you better be alone. I mean, I'm sorry about last night. I didn't mean to... Wait, you know I didn't mean it. Answer your phone, Julian. Bloody like a period in an adolescent nightmare. Welcome to the Little Shop of Horror. I'm Julian Little MNF. And the F is not for flaw. Capital came into the picture. I didn't need a label after all. Red like a big toe. Wendy felt like Carrie in the shower room when she began to bleed. I got my own style and my words are spicy like a big red. There was blood on the floor, period. Blood on the ground, period. Blood everywhere, period. Plug it up, plug it up, plug it up. 2 miles away in the woods, there was a bloodhound chasing a fox. Stop. My next thought was winter fresh gum, refreshing like Listerine. Playboy was publishing a story I wrote about The Little Mermaid a month ago. It came out in the October issue. It wasn't really erotica, but they offered to pay $250 for the rights. I wanted to show my mother the story, but it was in between pictures of all these beautiful women who had forgotten or didn't notice they weren't wearing any clothes at all. So I grabbed the magazine and made a copy of the story. And that was what I showed my mother. She read it and she smiled. My mother would read books just to finish them and say it wasn't all that great. The writers never seemed to exceed her expectations. She would tell me there are better books than this, and then she would leave it on the table. She knew that no matter what she said, I would still pick it up and read it for myself. When she read my story, she told me, why don't you write stories of your own, Julian? You could create better characters than this, Julian. Writing was something that just came natural to me. Reading was kind of like taking a breath of fresh air into your lungs. You didn't really have to try to get it done. Blank page. Turn the page then, Julian. Fish. I'm not poetic, but this is a poem I wrote the other day. Roses are red, violets are green. I'm confused with my colors. I don't know what I see, because I think I see and I don't really see. Who's leading me? If my eye-seeing dog is a female, and they do say a dog is a man's best friend, and they say a bitch is a female dog. What a coincidence, huh? I let it be. I never want to be like her. She only wants to be like me. I break the ice, my flow is hot. I freeze the time, you're stuck with me. I hear the rhythm in my mind when music was so far from me. I storytell, I think, and fight. Something beating me up, now I'm fighting for my life. Respect the one who is after me. There is one who comes after me who is greater than I. I'm on the hook. They fish with me. Come get the bait. You want to eat the monster fish wraps. I repeat. If you repeat what I said, you're a dead parakeet. To Kill a Mockingbird, a book that I love, and I read, and I read, and I read, and I read. Riley Reid naked. Get the truth, then sugarcoat it just a little to put some clothes on the fashion statement. Now she looks good in a dress, and I got lost in her eyes. I'm here and now, you're here with me. When Little Wayne shows up, I read. I write nothing for you to see. Mention no names, they're not with me. Fish out of water, hard to breathe. You need to learn before you teach. To each his own, I'm off the leash. I block and then I kick and then I jab and then Hadouken, finish in totality. Well done. Scorpio, get over here. Sub-Zero, freeze. Craw. This is a song I wrote for Decipher Their Ways. I told myself something quiet like a nightmare. A murder became what I preach. Listen to voices that seem to be wicked. My dreams have haunt me, and I never sleep. I fear the day I see you in my life now. The fifth wave can all really leave. Bring them back in 2020. The revival, it's lightning, and this is repeat. I can conquer what I don't read. I read it out loud just to read what I think. Read this in your head, Julian. I wrote this all by myself, and a moon was my only constant relief when I need. All you see is what I wrote. A murder became what I quote. All my words portrayed the scene. The body lay under the floor. Thoughts that echo violently. I heard a noise, it was sharp. Crawl away, you hide from me. Madness was real to me. Stop. I was the closest to death. Wait, look at me now. The floor was infested with leaves. 2. I'm glad that it's done and over with. Now forget all the rhyming and the songs and the lyrics. Write another part to the story of the book. This is part 2 of The Shadow Before. I have black and white pictures of the Addams family on my wall. Case notes continued. Possible schizophrenic tendencies. Some kind of barrier in my mind had been breached. I became infected. I believed this to be contagious. Look at us now. Entertaining. Here we are now. Reading pages I written in a manuscript. Sorry, the words just echoed. In the back of my mind, this was it. 6 is a good number. 93, that's a bad number. 100, that's a good number. 6 is a fix. Exactly, you got it. I knew you would understand. I found a digital camera on my way to the local first bargain store. I felt as if I could punch through the fabric of reality, so I heard my name. I know you're trying to get me to admit I'm crazy. Is that a polite way to say I'm psychotic? I'm still, wait, no point intended. I didn't mean nothing by it. I'm still trying to get the patient to confront his delusion. I get it. M and F. What do you think that stands for? I don't know. This is patient F, but his real name is Julian. Something very specific, I guess. Conveying this message is my responsibility. If Brian wouldn't have got me started in writing the fifth wave book, I would have never written this, because this came after. By the time November came around, things started getting bad again. I started having nightmares again. So I heard my name. Are you certain of that? The door was talking to me. What did it say? It's not safe to say these things out loud. I am very afraid. Transcripts of the patient's accounts follows. Far, far away. You are so far away, Julian. Forcing myself to admit I was crazy was harder than easy thing done. Shut the door, Julian. Patient notes continue. Day 2. So how do you feel about that? How do you think I feel? I started counting everything, because then the world would lose its balance, right? Yes, of course. See, you get it. The darkness was there again. Things were getting better again. The waves came just like the shore did. The fifth wave was coming back in 2020, so I could look forward to that. I mean, who wouldn't get excited? Yeah, but it didn't matter now. Time was moving at a crawling speed. I didn't get better. The troubles just went away. I can help you. It just takes some time, Julian. Thank you, Doc, for listening. But I think we should end this discussion. No, Julian, I think I can help you. Every time a patient comes through a breakthrough, they think that's the end of it all. You still need some therapy sessions. My therapist told me don't bury my issues, and I'm being honest, man, I'm feeling great. Okay, let's continue. Day 3. The patient seems to be stable today. The shore came, then it drifted away. Just like the waves. Just like the waves. Just like the waves. The shore came, then it drifted away. Just like the waves. Just like the waves. Wait, stop, non-stop, then continue. Hold up, pause. Stop, full stop. Don't continue. Red light, stop. Red light like a green battery. Low. I should have ended at a wait. Green light, go. This manuscript should be burned. You're a doctor. You told me this is normal? This is a little too real, a little too intimate for YouTube. But heck, I'm gonna upload it anyways. If you can't confess a secret to a dear old friend, who can you confess it to? The end. My heart was free. Fish by Julian F. Tuna Little M and F. Acapella without a beat. I never want to be like her. She only wants to be like me. I break the ice. My flow is hot. I freeze the time. You're stuck with me. I hear the rhythm in my mind when music was so far from me. I storytelling. I think and I fight. Respect the one who's after me. I'm on the hook. They fish with me. Come get the bait. You want to eat the monster fish raps. I repeat. I'm here and now. You're here with me. When Little Wayne shows up, I read. I write nothing for you to see. Mention no names. They're not with me. Fishing out of water, hard to breathe. You need to learn before you teach. To each his own. I'm off the leash. Crawl by Julian Tuna F. Little M and F. Acapella. I told myself it's some I rearranging this. Going back into my mind, this was easy for me. Not a struggle to wait. I told myself something quiet, like a nightmare. A murder became what I preach. Listen to voices that seem to be wicked. My dreams haunt me. I never sleep. I fear the day I see you in my life now. I can't conquer what I don't read. I wrote this all by myself, and a moon was my constant relief when I need. All you see is what I wrote. A murder became what I quote. All my words portray the scene. A body lay under the floor. Thoughts that echo violently. I heard a noise that was sharp. Crawl away, you hide from me. Madness became real to me. I was the closest to death. Look at me now. The floor was infested with leaves. Jill and F tune a little M and F acapella. Hold the way, turn the music up. I don't hear it. Oh yeah, I do. Without a beat. If you don't know my story, then I don't think you should run your mouth. Story time, gather round. This began and never mind. Furthermore, I don't need no explanations because I'm more to life. Part of y'all look mortified. Leave the keys on the counter, let's go write the bikes. What's your definition of remorse? I'm asking the questions, I want answers, not the run around. Told myself, ignore the inner voice. Did you hear what I just said? I thought I told you not to say another word. It's that fear talking again because I'm never scared of you. I'm subliminal, so listen now. I'm too afraid to look inside the book. You're so perceptive when you're reading all my words. Telepathy, I'm going backwards into the mind, always reading minds like, again, a new phenomenon with an ability. My story ends with you. Should read between the lines. Fish.
And now it came to pass that George was introduced into the fifth wave. Now, I bestow on him my lyrics, for he embedded and he created a form of portraying the words I have written. And in a poetic way, he got his own style. He didn't copy or mimic. And I guess he doesn't really sound like me, but he sounds like his own self. I can respect that because I myself started sounding like that until I found my own voice. Now, George, I admire that dude. And he's in Pobresca now, even great. He's doing great things. Now, there's one who comes after me, and I make way for the path. And now, I'd like to introduce you all to George, the singer, to the fifth wave.